Hey everyone, this is something new for me. I'm going live, which I'm not real comfortable with, so bear with me as I try to figure this out. So let me tell you what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. Anyone who's followed my statuses knows that I have two beautiful children, two very beautiful but bad kids. See these gray hairs? That is because of my two children. At any rate, they are Imani and Malik. So my firstborn has really encouraged me for quite some time well, she's been saying for about 6 years, Daddy, you should be a motivational speaker, you should write a book. Don't know if I'm ready to do either one of those, but she has, you offered this as a solution, and I think maybe that's a good first step, put it that way. So, by the way, I'm outside on the campus, pretty much the campus of NYU. I'm about to go work out, and then after that I'll do some studying. I am working on my prerequisite stuff to go back to nursing school. So I'm starting a new career, which will probably be part of the self-talk. In any rate, if you haven't seen already, I've titled this Man in the Mirror, and the reason I've titled it Man in the Mirror is because I think we all do a certain level of self-talk, right? Whether we're by ourselves and we're talking out loud or we're talking in our heads, we have these topics that we kind of talk through. And some of that stuff I've kind of put on statuses, either through my own personal experiences or just conversations I've had with other people that have inspired titles in one way or another. So I guess this is just the next step in doing that, in having some forum where I can generate conversations and potentially strike a nerve with those who may be thinking the same thing. I'm sure at some point there will be a topic that you can relate to. I do a lot of self-talk, and obviously having gone through a divorce and being separated from my children and my family, and my second home, which is Maryland, which I've lived in for 25 years, and now I'm back in New York. There is a lot of ups and downs along the way, and while a lot of it may seem bad, there's a lot of self-realization about things that you go through. So I just want to share some of those things, and hopefully you guys will chime in and you will potentially see some things that resonate with you as well. So again, back to the self-talk piece. A lot of the topics that I'll be introducing to me are things that I actually have conversations with on a day-to-day basis, or I'm thinking, and I'm going to try to, articulate my point of view. So understand there's nothing that I say that's going to be me giving you advice as to how you should run your life. I'm going to tell you some of the things that I've had to deal with and how I've dealt with them, and I guess some of the facts of life according to Chris as it pertains to Chris's life. Take what you can and leave what you can't. But again, my ultimate goal is to, be some form of help for people, because I really think most people think these things but never work through it. Never give it enough attention so that the next step is something that they put into action, and it's no longer something that holds them back or something. And holding you back doesn't have to just be career. It could be your relationships. It could be you as a parent. It could be you as a coworker or as a friend. I think there's a lot of things that we allow to limit ourselves. And part of the problem is because we don't talk about it, because we don't think about it. We rather just kind of bury it in the corner of the closet and not worry about it and think that it's going to take care of itself. And I've realized that don't happen. You have to put some action to things if you expect a different outcome. On a more personal tip, from a male standpoint, I think we're great at burying. That's all we do is bury. We bury our feelings because we don't want people to see us as weak. My own kids used to call me Tin Man. That bothered me a lot because I feel I'm a very passionate person. But I have to also understand that although you're passionate about what you do and how you see the world and how you relate with other people, people need to see expressions of it. If they don't see expressions of it, they kind of look past what you do on a day-to-day basis and don't see that as passionate. They want to see some true manifestations of what they consider to be emotional expression. And I'm working on that. I'm getting better at that. Anybody who's in my life right now knows that I probably say I love you to them every single time I talk to them. So, and that's not just reserved to my children. And part of that is because, you know, over the past probably 5-6 years, I've lost some people who I didn't expect to lose. There are some friends, frat brothers, family members, just people that you just expected to be, you expect them to be there for a long time, and you realize how fragile life is. So a lot of the things that we worry about are so small, and a lot of the things that we limit ourselves or allow ourselves to be limited by, like fear, and that will definitely be a huge thing that I talk about, we just have to come to realize that it truly is just an illusion. The only thing that you should fear is yourself. Your biggest obstacle is you. And I know you've heard that a million times. It sounds like a cliche, but it really is. All I have to do is give you a couple of scenarios in your life where you didn't think you could do something, and then something put you in a position where you had to do it, and then a year later you're like, I can't believe I did that. So it just proves that you were the only thing that were holding yourself back. I know I'm not good with looking into the camera. I hate having to hold this phone, so I gotta find a better way to do this, and I'll try to do it inside because you're probably getting a lot of wind and stuff like that. But like I said, this is my first time, guys, so bear with me as I try to come up with some topics. I will be much more prepared going forward. I'll have notes and stuff and bullet points of what I want to talk to. But the purpose of me doing this right now is really because I'm the kind of guy, which is why I do the statuses. Once I speak it and let people know, then I have to do it because I put it out there. So my daughter's been pushing me to do this and pushing me, and I've been making all kind of excuses. I don't know how to use this. I don't know how to do Periscope, which was the initial way she told me to do it, but then told me this was the better way to do it. So I said, before I go in the gym, let me just do an introductory thing. You guys can kind of look out for it and know that, you know, when I do these videos, I'm really only going to do them when I have a topic. I'm not going to do it, you know, as I walk down the street and stuff like that. When I have a topic, I'll do it. Still look out for Subway Diaries, because I do that just to amuse myself, and hopefully you get a kick out of it too. And some of my statuses. You really won't find too many negative things that I put on my wall. I don't speak to religion a lot. I don't speak to politics a lot. But on that point, let me say this. For those, because I have a lot of friends on my list, and I have a lot of people who I know don't believe in organized religion, don't believe in God, don't believe in the word because it was delivered by Europeans and all that. And you know what? That's your thing. I understand that. So I choose not to talk about those things. But please don't confuse me not talking about it with me not having a devout belief in it. I just believe that sometimes we got to leave certain topics out of things so that we can have a clear communication. If I introduce something, and that doesn't mean I'm not going to talk about God or talk about how he works in my life. That's not my point. I just think that sometimes people muddy the waters, and once you muddy the waters, communication is impossible. That's just my take. I could try to ram it down your throat, but at the end of the day, as I'm ramming it down, you're not hearing anything I'm saying. So I would sooner just put you in a place of being able to receive the message that I'm trying to deliver. And when you're ready, or when you're open to hear something beyond what you're normally used to hearing, holla at me, and I'd be more than happy to tell you my take on it and to tell you how it works in my life. So same thing with religion. I have some strong beliefs as it pertains to people like Donald Trump and some other things, and but I choose not to put that on my wall. So you probably have never really, or very rarely see it on my wall. You'll see nothing but positive things. And I don't allow negative things on my wall. So if you attempt to drop something negative on my wall, if you get through, you'll be deleted. Because it's just not what I'm trying to put out. I think we got enough negative crap going on in the world. Which is why I don't watch TV anymore. I don't watch the news. The only thing I want entering into my head is something positive, because I'm trying to do positive things right now. And I've had about 46 years of negativity that I think has, well, less than that, that has really tainted how I've done things in the past. Don't get me wrong, I've had a lot of positive things too. I had successful family and marriage. Just didn't work out in the end, but I've had a lot of love. I've had a lot of good things happen in my life as well. But I've allowed some things to hold me back, and now I've made a decision that those things will no longer hold me back. So anyway, this was a lot longer than I intended, but stay tuned going forward. Hopefully, maybe even as early as tomorrow, once I put my thoughts together as to what I want to start on. And if I don't even know if it makes sense to ask if there are topics that you would want to engage in, then please, send me a note or whatever, and if there's something that I already know on that, or if we have a dialogue, then I'd be more than happy to talk about it. Because I don't propose to knowing the answers to everything I talk about. Like I said, it's more a forum. It's just a guy talking in the mirror. So don't tune in with this expectation that I'm the new Buddha. Because clearly I'm not, although sometimes I feel that way. But it's just a guy in the mirror talking. So hopefully there's something that will resonate with you as I talk. Peace.